Hello, and welcome to hopefully another episode of Victoria 4. Now, Victoria 4, Victoria 3, oh my god, I already skipped versions. I just looked around, and as always, it's hilarious to see the wars going on. So, Prussia again is in a war, and this time with radical Prussia. So they've obviously pushed their radicals a little too far. We may be doing the same right now, we don't know. Scandinavia's still chilling. Britain is taking over Northern Africa, where France is looking like they're trying to jump in here. We can't colonize any of this ourselves until we have, what is that technology called? Society, it's in here. Quinine. We need quinine. What is, anarchists. Very cool. We just don't research anarchists and you'll be fine. Anyway, so quinine is what we need for that. Right now we're working on pharmaceuticals, which leads into quinine. I've wanted to get pharmaceuticals forever ago, so it's about time that we get to it. But that's fine. Then we look at the state of our nation, and the trade market usually is a good place to start. Silk, pretty high, been high for a long time. We should work around that. Steel coming up and down. That's a recent thing in our market that we've been trying to build out, and actually leads into coal and a couple other items. And I go, okay, well, steel's in our market. How is the steel mill doing? It's doing awful. Why is the steel mill doing so poorly? Well, iron is getting more expensive. That's fine. We can work around that. But coal, very, very expensive. Okay. Well, that's fine. We'll just build more coal mines. And we look at the coal mines here. Oh, by the way, what are you doing here? We'll look at the coal mines. And they're not doing so hot either. They're doing okay, but not so hot. And why is that? Oh, because tools are super expensive. Okay. Then, okay, let's go to our big tools factory. Oh, it's doing poor as well. It's got low cash reserve and losing employment. Why is that? Because steel is super important. Oh no, it's gone a full circle. And all of them are eating into each other, making it difficult. Now, what is an easy solution? Oh, well, easy. You just go to the market, you go trade routes, new import route, let's import some coal, and it's expensive everywhere that we can buy from. Okay, well, that's fine. Maybe we can fix it with tools. Yeah, okay, they're slightly more expensive in another country right now. We're not going to get many of them, 10, but sure, okay. And then what else do we need? Coal, tools, and steel. Sorry, that's iron. Steel. French market, looking okay. Like, sure. Minus a billion convoys available. So a lot of that probably isn't even going to go through. Also, it's going to add to our bureaucracy. But I think that now is the time to use one of our new political inventions called interventionalism. We should subsidize this factory to help it afford the steel. Then we should go to the steel mill and we should subsidize it as well. And then we should go to the coal mine and subsidize that. We need to expand the coal mine because that's kind of the root cause. And then that will work on the other things, right? Because the coal mine was the limiting reagent, as it were. Now, we can also, in the short term, go to pig iron tools. The problem is that that's not as effective as it could be. And in fact, a better place to do this is actually from this screen here. We should subsidize all of those buildings, and they should all be on automatic expansion. We should subsidize all steel mills and have them on expansion. And we should go to rural and cotton. Yeah, I'm not looking to get more plantations these days, so let's turn you guys off. The bananas, unfortunately, are not as cool as I wanted them to be. They're just fruit. Turns out a banana is fruit, and that's all you need to know. Silk, we know from the start of this that it is a desired good in our economy. We do need more logging camps, but moving all to hardwood or softwood, or both of them are bad. Right now we have a good mix in our country. fishing wharves, that's fine. We could even expand fishing wharves. That would expand the demand for clippers as well. It's only worth doing for the ones that are profitable, which will happen naturally. Whaling has not been good in our country since we started. So many subsistence orchards, pastures, and farms. No need to expand on this. They're at least free peasants, but that's as good as it's getting right now. Am I crazy? Goldfields. Oh yeah, I forgot about this. This is our, in Australia. And I actually skipped over earlier, coal mine. We want this subsidized all over, everywhere we can get it. And we want atmospheric engine pump. We don't need any of this. Oh, and we just invented rail transportation. I forgot. That was one of the last things that we did. The problem is with transportation is you can see in our country, it's just not valued. What it does is it decreases the employment required because you're not manually carrying carts around. But we are like the equivalent of Russia in most people's mindset in terms of wargaming. We have a massive labor pool. Like, this is the reason why socialism is not working in our country more than anything else. Because the rural population, if we just go into our population metrics, even with all the industrialization we've been doing, we're still 61% peasants, subsistence farmers. Like, we've gone and, like, what is this at this point? Tripled our GDP through industrialization. If we were a country in Europe, holy crap. Oh, that's the market. Okay. If we were in Spain, or heaven forbid, Canada, you would have no people and lots of production, and everyone would be a laborer. You'd be part of a huge economy, right? And all of the grain and food that you might need might come, yes, a little bit from the prairies, sure, but like India and other bread baskets, as it were. I know that historically they got put on cotton and all these other cash crops, but you could industrialize a massive proportion of your country, whereas in Japan, we're kind of just chilling. Now, if we look as well at our buildings, in our rural buildings, wheat farms specifically, let's have a look at a specific one here. Fully employed. Who's employed here? Laborers. Only 800 farmers. And then another 900 are Japanese here. But most of the laborers here are laborers. Most of them are laborers. Laborers work on the... So even though this is a wheat farm, they're not considered farmers, right? They're not considered peasants. That is our population right now. Subsistence farmers, mostly peasants. Yes, their quality of life is coming up, and we should take a second to look at that. Impoverished people are still impoverished. Middling people, still middling. Secure people, upper strata, still secure. The big difference is not in the quality of living of these groups. It's in the quantity of people in these groups. Let's go back to population here. And I think if I go here, the middle class is chilling. Okay, maybe I'm crazy. I thought, it's just, here's the thing. These graphs don't look very different. Okay, it looks like a freaking flat line, right? Just a flat line here. But you can see the pixels kind of tabbing up a little bit. And when we're talking about millions of people, right, ticking up a little bit is going from 1.84 million to or what it was before, to 1.9 million. And that's, I don't know, 60,000 people. Like, it's how many people we're investing in, right? The reason why this isn't actually coming, like, plummeting down is because our overall population has skyrocketed. Do you see this chart of how many people live in our country? It's going massive. Why is it going massive? Because we passed laws, we passed healthcare, right? At least charity hospitals. Again, I'd rather have public because this gives benefits to different groups that I'm not a huge fan of. And going public gives you more institutional investment allowed. But it's fine. Our country is growing in GDP. It's growing in population. It is improving in standard of living, but it's hard to tell because every individual group is changing a little bit and population is slowly shifting from one to another. So anyways, like I said, the big things right now that are on our list of things to do is A, we're wrapping up colonizing here. This location does have malaria, boo, but it also has the potential for tea plantations and others. That's fine. We also want to get quinine so we can start beating the French here into a little bit of Africa. Why is that? Mostly for mineral resources, I would say. But the big thing is once we even have these colonies, and we do throughout, to actually get any value out of the territory, we desperately need to go to policies and change from closed borders to something else. Something that will allow us to send groups away. Now, if we look, the industrialists love this stuff because they understand that migration controls are how we get more people into the country and how we get people out of the country to go to our colonies. That's very key. Nobody wants it right now. So instead, let's keep pissing off our groups by getting the right of assembly. The intelligentsia will like this. A couple other groups will hate it. In fact, more groups hate it than like it. But I'm not a big fan of the censorship, even though it's something that's been helping us in suppression. But the technology spread is something I'm keen on. We've been lacking in technology. And the thing you got to know is our weekly innovation, right, starts at 50, and every university gives you some points towards it, right? Great, awesome. So we get from 50 all the way to 80. We've almost 60% more research from that's investing in universities. We could go all the way up to 113, it says in here, innovation, due to our high literacy rate, right? 50 is the base maximum, but because our country is so literate, the cap is higher, right? So why are we investing so much in literacy and education when we haven't even hit our cap? Well, it's really the second value, which is base value of 25, and then 31 from literally. So we are getting between 18 and 55 free research in technologies that we don't get to pick, and we kind of need everything. So that's pretty good for us. Right now, I think I started frame buildings, but I couldn't finish it. Right now, I actually think that it's giving us, realism for free, 18 to 55. Then we come over here, right? And what are we getting? Right here, we're getting triage, 18 to 55. And I think that that's just saying that it's getting spread around these researches at this approximate rate. It looks like we're only getting 50% of the value on average, right? Because it's between these two ranges. So it's just randomly splashing technology at it. So just think, whatever 55 is divided by 2, 25. 25 of our science is coming from our literacy, right? Or from our spread. And more than half of that 25 is just free research I don't have to pay for. These 30 research we get here, I have to build universities and fund them and give them paper and all these other things. It's really killing our economy. And I love these graphs. They're hilariously wacky. Whereas this 31 that we're getting from literacy is just free, baby. And we can enhance it by the peasant have the old ways. That's because they hate us right now. Oopsies, peasants hate us. Censorship, what I'm talking about repealing right now. And then unrecognized great power. We're going to have to do something big for that. Japan historically fought Russia in a big naval battle. Did some stuff in Manchuria to take, Korea. I would love to fight the Qing dynasty. But here's the thing. We're already broke. And our military, I gotta say, is not that hot. It's really not that hot, because what it matters is the production, right? What is the production style being used here? And it's not good. It's not good. I'm sorry, this doesn't say mix somewhere. This is all, there it is. We do have some line infantry, which requires weapons. We are producing some weapons domestically, which we're helping by upping the value of weapons in our country, by converting more and more of these barracks to using better weaponry. The problem is that, like, I don't want to go too heavy in the change, because our small arms industry is so small that if I put one more group on line infantry, the cost skyrockets. But it's probably worth doing from time to time to give our industry the chance to kind of expand, get a chance to build up a little bit more, and then we can fund a better and better army, because right now we're basically running a primitive army, and we'd like to at least be Napoleonic in style, which is saying something given that it's 1873, you know, a solid basically 60 years after all of the good stuff went down. So, I'll see you soon, and I'll let you know on how the immediate issues of coal mining and colonization, and now passing that law to get rid of censorship. Ciao. So, interestingly, our 81-year-old Tokugawa shogunate guy, he is 81. And I got a message saying that I had a new heir apparent. And I was like, oh, a new heir to the dynasty. And it's not that, you know, Mr. Pious bureaucracy, institutional change is good, and influence and all this other stuff. No. I mean, this is fine. I mean, he's just like chilling, making his group very, very powerful. But the heir apparent is new. And he has the ideology of a reformer and the interest group of industrialists. I don't know how we know this, because he's 0. But right now, that's what we've got. So I think that's pretty cool. And then on top of that, I think that I've been undervaluing. If we go to build and just choose anything, you can see that almost all of my provinces have like 60% market access. And that's because in them, I've built so many structures and developments that are restricting the infrastructure. Right now we have 166 used, but only 97, and a cap of 60 from POPs. So like, without the ability to increase infrastructure, it's crazy. And that, again, we still only have a 35% tax thing. So I'd love to up the taxation as well. The problem is that the more of an infrastructure shortfall you have, the less market access this population has. So they have to pay more for goods and have a harder time exporting and importing. And that's basically happening all over my country. So what we're trying to do now is take a pause on getting quinine. I could get it in 19 months. And I've decided to go back to steel frame buildings. It's still going to take 3 years if we're unlucky. Or it could be faster if we get lucky. This completes in 4 to 6 months. And then it comes back here. I guess 6 months. I don't know how fast this would finish without us, to be honest. It needs 3,000 more investment. It's getting, you know, some investment between 18 and 55, and then a portion of that. I don't know. It feels like it's going to be a while. I think we have to do steel frame buildings on our own, but we just need it. Otherwise, like, the infrastructure and structure just isn't going to happen. And like, even then, like maybe elevators and stuff. Like, the cities are just too built up. We need infrastructure to help us get our stuff around. And then on top of that, I've gone and changed all of our export focuses to have 20% tariffs on the exports, so that anything that is profitable to ship overseas, we're going to make a lot of money on it. But we're not going to be looking to tariff any imports, because anything that we need to import, I'll let them pay, our people pay at cost, because we need that to fuel our industries that's giving us the surplus. Our money, we were running a deficit for very, very long, and we went too far in the black. I'm starting to get worried about our gold reserves tanking off the edge. I've decided to up the taxation level to max again. It's going to spike radicals in our country, but we just don't have a choice right now. We need to stem our finances, and I refuse to cut back on building because we need a ton of ports. Those ports are going to allow us to sell to more markets, and then we're going to be profitable again. By God. Opposition interest group approvals coming up right now. I don't really care. That's fine. But anyways, we're working on it. The coal situation is good now. Let's talk about that. Coal is now a normal price, and tools are now a normal price. And even though I had subsidized clicked, it's not actually subsidizing because it's a profitable industry. We come over to the iron mine. It is subsidized because coal is still too expensive for it right now. I don't know why it considers it so expensive and the other one not. Likely, it's because of the infrastructure deficit, right? So let's look at the... it just says 50% compared to base price. Now, I'm pretty sure that somewhere in here, I can click on coal and zoom out and see that it's highly valuable in certain industrialized places, but not valuable in others. I don't know what's going on. But I do know that, okay, these are non-profitable trade routes. Let's go ahead and cancel those. Some grocery stuff. Here, coal is 33% more expensive compared to base price. Shogunate is exporting 600 coal. So, like, this is at a 20% tariff on exports. Why are we not making more money, is my question. If we're making... like, we're making $60? $60, like, what? Per unit overall? Like, how much is this making for money for me? Like, I have no idea. Like, when I click something like this, it's productivity, right? You're making this much money per grain exported. So I'm assuming I'm making $39 times 600 coal, right? To me, that would be a massive, and then we're taking a 20% premium on top of that. But I don't know where. Let's look at our incomes. Income tax. This is income tax. We're only making a little. Like, what are we making on coal? 60. We're making $60 on coal. I think. Let's look at our market right now. Let's look at our market price on coal. 600 more coal would make it so that this balance is better, right? So how do I take this coal and cancel? Can I not cancel it because I owe them the trade route for as many years as I sent them? I thought I was skimming off the top, but that trade route really blossomed into way more than I expected. We're still, like I said, if I come down here, making money on our coal. Right? We're still making a lot of money here. But what we're not doing is making it so that coal is cheaper in the rest of the country. And again, I think that's an infrastructure issue because this province has 40% market access. This one has 58. This one has 57. Like, you're getting a quarter of the throughput as you do sending to other places. So it's just difficult to ship internally, but a good deal to ship externally. It just seems like I'm making not very much money on it. and that upsets me. So because the amount of money I'm spending to subsidize my ironworks, and even here the glassworks, oh my god, at least they're burning, wood. What is this? Oh yeah, this is just less laborers. No, I want as many laborers as we can here, baby. With leaded glass, ceramics, privately owned. Bone china? Nah, we're good. Anyway, so that's all cool. We're losing our rank. We're 13th in the world right now, which is chill. But yeah, there's lots more to do. Prussia looks like it reunified itself, a little bit blown up, I would say. Let's go ahead and zoom in. And you can actually see the devastation from that civil war. Like, I love the little graphical detail here when you look around. And, like, pretty sure we can look at all these little hamlets and cities. We can see the ships on the different trade routes coming in and out. London, it's a big place. Lots of buildings, lots of industries. Some skyscrapers even. My God. And then in UAE, little hamlets, tiny villages scattered amongst the wastelands. And then in Japan, Edo is not massive, right? It's an undeveloped, whatever. I mean, it's massive in terms of population, which this doesn't do justice. But, you know, there's so much to do. And this is mostly just mines. Let's go mine that stuff. Oh, also what doesn't help, and I've been trying to put off telling people, is because the infrastructure is so low, people have to pay high goods for prices. So even though we've tripled our GDP, people aren't seeing that in their day-to-day lives. And it's leading to the population being quite upset, I would say, if we look at not violent suppressions. There's a way of seeing it, but basically, if I look here, we've got turmoil. And there must be a way to diplomatically see. Huh. Don't really want that. To diplomatically see how much like radicals we have through the edges of the country. And then there must be like a rebellion, right? Standard of living, best along the coast. Basically, the standard of living's good where we have good infrastructure. I don't know. It's in here somewhere, but basically, if I click around on a bunch of these provinces, see this little fist? See this little fist? See this little fist? They are all upset. It's not good. I think that there used to be 5, now there's 4 in turmoil. We'd really like to improve that. Also, I'm trying to connect Bougainville to our trade network. And because it turns out all of these colonies that we have like 0 market access, and I think that's because of the port. So that's the next big thing that we're trying. I don't think that it does add 5 infrastructure to build a port per level. So I think that's the next strategy, is we need infrastructure. Let's build some ports, baby. First we'll test some colonies, and then we're going to go in here. So get ready for this button to go all the way to 5. We need 25 infrastructure. Let's go. We're actually going to put 1 to the top. Let's go, baby. Okay, maybe I'm a little bit of an idiot, because we can also build railways now instead of ports. Now, ports are cool. They are giving us taxes and there's government fees. But we can now build railways, and that is a way of directly getting infrastructure in our cities. The problem is that we need engines and coal, which is kind of the whole problem right now. Is engines and coal not going to work for us. But by building this infrastructure, by building our first railways, we're going to create an engine economy in our country. You've heard it before. We need to create the supply, and then we got to create the demand, and then the demand gets more supply, begets more demand. So right now we are absolutely building a bunch of ports still, but we are going to be building railways incrementally as well. Ports aren't so bad. We'll need more shipyards to get some things. And railways aren't so bad. We'll need more engines. But the benefit of ports is that we'll also get more trading capacity to export things overseas and hopefully not screw our economy, but make a little bit more in tariffs. So we'll see how that goes. Also, you may have seen the letter come up. Russia won. It's a trade agreement. We can enter a trade agreement which allows our countries to trade. Not sure what's going to be great about that, though. Goods with considerable export. I mean, apparently Russia and Austria and Italy all need sugar. We will absolutely do that. But again, with everything we're exporting overseas, we are absolutely putting maximum tariffs on it. To make... We're okay selling it at a 20% margin, okay? If that's still profitable to send, then we're gonna frickin' do it until we can get our own economy. Like, it just helps everyone make more money, really. As long as our economy still has enough sugar for our industries to be profitable. So I was reviewing the laws, and right now we have landed voting, which is cool. Right, we get some legitimacy, we get some authority, and then the upper class people have more political strength from their votes. If we went to wealth voting, we'd have less authority. That's fine. That's part of the voting distribution of power. But we would get a more equitable society that doesn't favor the capitalists and aristocrats and clergy. And it actually is only opposed by the shogunate and the intelligentsia. Right now, census suffrage would radicalize both, and universal suffrage would radicalize both. But wealth, they still feel like they're getting enough of an advantage that they should only be mostly pissed. So we'll try running this for a while. We'll see if we get a positive or a negative outcome. You can see here, our first year is basically going to give us the momentum. We're either going to win it, we're going to fail or get closer, or likely it's going to debate or stall and we're going to get a bad result. And then we'll just change and try and do something else. But for now, we can try that. The biggest problem that our country's having, other than the huge debt crisis, the raising radical sentiment, the lack of authority and money, the fact that we not only are losing money, but we already have accrued substantial debt, is that our interest groups hate our guts. Noble privileges are being revoked by the shogunate, which just dropped our tax income, which is why we're losing so much money. The peasants are reducing the amount of technology spread that we're getting, and the samurai is costing us more in terms of military goods. Yeah, but at least the capitalists are investing in the capital pool. So go industrialists. And that actually equates, you can see here, temporary national revenue, to about 5.6K. That's not as big as the waste that's being created by the shogunate, 10% tax income on like everything, but it's still substantial, so we're gonna go with that. And just for an example of a successful colony, okay, I just want to let it be known that our little island here of Celebes, I built its port, and now all of a sudden it's producing dyes and tea and iron mines. It's not at a huge deficiency of infrastructure to the point where, my God, we are going to expand all of these industries because they are quite profitable and helping the people in our home regions get more wealth. And also the tea in particular. You might know of a historical relationship that the British had with the tea. If we go to our trade routes, tea is making us some good money. If you consider the fact that we're only making it overseas at our colonies, that's pretty sick. The fact that we're making some money, we're exporting 55 of it, we're making good livings for these people. They're not part of core states, so they don't pay taxes to us, which is poo-poo. But otherwise, I mean, it's doing good stuff for us right now. So life is good. There's a lot of inactive trade routes here. But basically, anything that we can make a profit selling, I'm in the mood to do. We are trying to be the world's China before China was a China. And also, the market access is improving because we are building railways and now ports and other things. So let's freaking go. And also, we're making considerably more in tariffs. It goes up and down. We were at like 2.5 before. Now we're at 4. Previously, we were at like 5. I don't know. Yeah, you can see our tariffs going up and down, up and down, up and down as it plays in the market. And that, I think, is a function of how much how many convoys we have. As we build up the ports, they get used. So let's keep going with those ports. Life is strange. Life is good. We need many ports. They're improving the infrastructure. It's 2 birds stoned at once. And I'm feeling pretty good about it. Meanwhile, we do have motors being built domestically in Japan. And actually improving this is going to be high on the list because 40 trains is about 4 levels of railway. And we know that we're building more levels of railway as we go. In fact, I think this one we need to do sooner rather than later because that's where all the coal is coming from. It's wild. Oh, a defamatory article. Okay. About Micronesian people. We can lose it or -1 standard of living for Micronesians to Kyushu. I mean, look, I'm going to ignore this. And then I'm going to bring you down to Kyushu. And I'm going to go to overview. And I'm going to go to population. And I don't even need to tell you right now that the Micronesian population in Kyushu is 150 people. Okay. Good for them. I'm glad that they're here. Life is strange. But I'm not going to put their needs... Like, I'm not going to get a global modifier on my country of almost 40 million people to serve the needs of 150. Like, I'm sorry, my dude. Attraction's low, you should have stayed home. The turmoil, though, right? It just adds up everywhere. We got to get out of this turmoil situation. And I can only do that by improving people's lives, which we're trying to do by fixing the mess we made, by improving market access. Let's look here at these people in turmoil that are quite upset with us. And now that we've increased their... Oh, realism for free. Nice. And now that we've increased their infrastructure by building... how many bases? By building trains and coastal values and all this other stuff. Let's see. Is there a way of looking at their population standard of living? I want to know. I want to see their. I want to see their graph. How have they done? How have they done over time? Is there no way of getting that information anymore? All right. Well, let's do it a different way. Populations impoverished. Look, it was higher, and then what did I do several months ago, maybe a year ago? I upped the tax from here to here. Pretty devastating. But then, since implementing that, we've built out a ton of infrastructure to improve market access. Which, if I go back, I really think that's what's going to make the difference for these groups. Right now, it looks like the middle strata is seeing the best increase there. Holy jeez. I'm telling you, man, the amount of people that we're going to bring into the next strata of loving it. Politically inactive. Who's politically involved? That's a great question. We still have almost 6 million peasants and 2.5 million laborers involved. So that's pretty sick. The problem is, remember, due to our law, 50% extra benefit or voting is given to the capitalists and some other groups for owning land. Next, we're going to make it so that you need a wealth level of 25 to vote, which is going to not work for many people, but it will work for some if we can get wealth voting through, right? Because this wealth voting has a wealth threshold for voting. But then it's going to keep getting better and better as we get our laws stronger. Parties like the shogunate will continue to decline. Look at this clout collapsing as their leaders changed in different ways. And then groups like the industrialists, which we've been bolstering, have been doing quite well, actually. Engines of progress are helping us. Job creators are helping us. And look at that. Look at that. I don't know what happened, but we're starting to make money now. And I genuinely think it's because of our increased market access from these railroads. I mean, come on. It's gotta be. It's gotta be that. That's sick. Now, actually, is there a way of knowing income taxes coming up? Taxes, poll taxes coming up. Consumption taxes coming up. Tariffs coming up. Tariffs is up at 7 something. It's going, baby. And then investment pool transfer, 15K. Holy crap. Because the capitalists are now making money. And then have any of these costs decrease? Military goods, because the shogunate likes us. We're starting to get that tax income. Remember how we had minus 10%. The samurai don't hate us anymore, so the goods aren't worse, and the military wages aren't worse. And then, like, oh my god, actually the shogunate does still hate us, but the peasants don't hate us. And now the interest, we're bringing it down because we're making money. Look at that, 30K in interest. We'd be so much higher if it wasn't for the fact that we took out massive debt. And we're spending 60K on building, and the building was more expensive earlier because the tools and the iron and all that was more expensive. So just by building up our industry, subsidizing some of the ones that mattered most, let's go, now that we've gone into the future, let us look at our industries here that we were worried about. Tooling workshops, big profits, big profits all around. They loving it. They're technically subsidized. We're not spending any money on the subsidized because they don't need it anymore. They're profitable. We come over here, we look at our coal mine, the famous coal mine. We've built this out massive. It's rich. It's a little bit subsidized. That kind of sucks because coal is so cheap right now, but that's kind of fine because the reason coal's so cheap is what's making all the tools and stuff good. And then we come over here to the iron, and that's working out for us. Still, again, being subsidized. But again, we're a huge purchaser of iron. So we're paying for it now or later. We may as well help the industry grow. Feeling good about that. And we're building all these rail lines, which need a ton of iron to get built. And then they use coal and engines. Come back here, check in on our motor industries. That's making money. We're building up economies. Let's go. Didn't an election cycle happen just now and I didn't even notice? Oh! I was too busy explaining stuff and didn't hit pause, and we went through an entire election, and we didn't get any election events, or at least I didn't see them to click on them. Let us look at our parties. I really want the industrialists in party. Why? You're the Constitutional Reform Party. I can't... It's unlikely that I can make a government without... Yeah, no. In fact, the government would be better without the intelligentsia, but I'm willing to take the legitimacy hit to give up on them. What would it look like if I brought in the industrialists? Worse. Okay. Yeah, so the party, like that, we're just going to basically status quo. Status quo right now. The election did not change things enough, unfortunately. But things will change here as, A, our economy gets in over. We burn off this debt. Look at that gold reserve chart. It's coming up. It's coming up. And holy damn, man. Holy damn. Now, let's look at our subsidies. This is what I'm talking about. We used to be paying out 30K in subsidies. Now we're paying out 10. Because those things are getting better. And then, one second, really quickly. Construction costs, about the same. So, it's fine, man. It's fine. Life is good. Shogun intervenes in political process. I love this event because even though it pisses off the intelligentsia, they generally like me. And 20% enactment success is insane. The Shogun comes in from time to time and just freaking helps me out like such a bro. I love it. And look at all these ports coming online. Let's again look here. We're available convoys 5,000, required convoys 5,300. Like every time I build up more convoys, you can be damn sure that more trade happens. Is as we build up our infrastructure for convoys, we keep going. Now, what I'm wondering, this must be shattering. I thought this would shatter the economy for clippers. But for some reason this is... Oh, it's got low employment. Let's go somewhere that we have established ports. Like, why is our clipper economy so cheap? Like, where are we building, like, these shipyards? Interesting. I mean, I didn't think I would have enough shipyards to keep up with it, to be honest. But they are loving life right now, keeping up. And this one's doing Man of Wars, and this one's doing civilian. And the Man of War one's doing better. Now, is that my army? Am I using Man of Wars? Kyushu, Man of Wars. Okay. But we haven't expanded the Navy. We've just maintained a Navy because we want to be able to get to our colonies for vacation and stuff. Also, I'd really still like to colonize this location to get us into Africa. We're running out of coastline and this center could be juicy. What is going on there? More radicals. Look at these revolts that countries are in. We're doing our best to not have that. And who are you fighting, my dude? Holy jeez. Scandinavia is fighting with Russia and the Netherlands. And they're fighting Prussia. That is wild. It's weird that they're the same color. But, yeah, no, it's wild. That's wild. That's a lot going on. All right. Anyways, I'll see you soon. Gonna keep industrializing our country and solving the problems we made, which were infrastructure. I'm still happy that we're about to finish steel frames. 9 weeks to go. That's gonna make a big difference. And we'll have a look here. Like, again, our economy, the chart is off the charts, quite frankly. And then we look at our quality of life, and it dipped when we up taxes, but now it's increasing as we build infrastructure. So I'll be back and I'll let you know how this... And here we go. We finally got it. So that plus 10 from population. Look, like, our economy, you can't tell because of how messed up the graph is. But, like, that's a big deal. Oh, language in the classrooms. I don't care about linguistic discrimination because we don't have Melanesian pops. Like, we just don't. I'm sorry. We're Japanese right now. We'll be more inclusive once we have open borders. Next, quinine. We're getting that one for free right now. We may as well help finish it off. And yeah, let's look at this economy. Absolutely booming, baby. It's boom times. I should take a second though. Diplomatic plays. Diplomatic actions. Alliance with Yoson is cool. Improving relations with, like, some of these big colonial powers like France, And then even Brunei, who we tried to conquer earlier, let's just try and right those wrongs, you know? That's cool. And yeah, so I'll let you know how this goes. Again, we're working right now on an event called an Honorable Restoration. The Ayoshi Restoration. That may be because if we look at our policies, Ayoshi Tokugawa is... Oh, he's changed his views since he was 0. Oh, never mind. He hasn't. It's industrialist reformer. So we are absolutely looking to have this event pop off, get our new shogun into power, and then just freaking rip it. Like, you know the country is going to industrialize with a reformer in power if we can get this event to fire. Some other things that we'd like to go, liberalism, getting census suffrage and stuff, hard to do. Farms to factories, hard to do because of the population required. I'm surprised that this hasn't popped yet. Have 4 steel mills, 4 steel mills in a state. We have a huge steel mill here, right? Why is this not counting? Also, why isn't the Bessemer process better? I guess less laborers, more machinists, but still, I wouldn't mind just really crunching that. Like, to me, this has employment of 100%, and it's 4 steel mills in Chokuku. And Chokuku is a state. Like, it's a Japanese homeland incorporated state. So why is it is not subsidized? What will that do, steel mill? What happened here? What did it give us? Did I exit out accidentally? Did I click the button too fast? Journal entry. Oops. I mean, it gave me these 2 things. Oops. Well, that's just a guide, I think. I don't know that there's any bonuses. I think it's just trying to show you how to become economically dominant in your market. Whereas for me, it's these events down here, like the Honorable Restoration, that are actually like specific to your country and stuff like that. So I'm excited for it. We'll see. And by the way, 1 more week ticked by, and we got specialized goods production as well. So we got a whole bunch of new things. Let's see. Do we go another one? No. Okay. Now, exporting our profits. Export engines in Japanese market greater than 50. Why engines? Why engines? Like, how many engines do we make in our entire country? 80. You want me to export 50 of those? We're not even making money right now. But I guess that's... Look, it's going to make more money as we build more rail lines. So let's get the rail lines going. These ones are already expanding. Actually, you know what the question is, though? I don't know that we actually need more in that spot. No, we need more rail lines up here, not down there. So, sorry, I just queued you up here and here. But we actually need the rail lines up here. And that will help us deal with our infrastructure problem. And it will give us more of an engine economy so that when we invent new processes, I know we haven't done this much in our technology these days, that use engines, you know, rotary valve engine for manufacturing productions, then we'll be in it. Railway cars. Oh, okay. Right now we're just getting chemical bleaching right now. That might help our paper mills, actually. I'd love to do it, but first, let's get the quinine, see if we can get into Africa. And actually, while we're talking about colonies, how is this colony doing? Lovely. Lovely, actually. It's about to finish, or it's not. It's actually not finishing these things, because it's so far down in the production queue, and I've just put a bunch of railways there. Still, though, I think these ports and stuff are important over the profits of our colony, but we will eventually develop it further. Right now, it's a good win. Let's not talk any further about that. Oh, and people are already importing with us, because we have trade routes with the Great Qing Dynasty. So if I go to my market, again, all of these ones are not really happening. I don't know why trade revenue. Why are we doing this if it's bad? Like, why? I don't get it. You're not a part of the market. Oh, this is their market. No, go to my market. I want my market. Like, we have such an export focus that we should be making money on anything that's trading. Right? Like, why are we not making money? Like, here we're importing steel to make some of our things cheaper. That's helping our construction costs. But if we were to sell steel, they'd have to pay a premium. Oh, I don't know. Apparently it doesn't like... Maybe it's because it's factoring in the cost of the ships. But right now, there aren't as much of that. Holy crap, though. I think it's time to sell our coal again. now that we've got our coal to be super cheap, I think it's time to find some business partners, go down to where our coal is on the list, make sure it's export focused, and let's see what happens here. Because coal in the Japanese market took a huge plunge earlier, as you can tell, because I balanced the economy, and now everything went from being extremely overpriced to not being overpriced. So now we'll see what happens, because some of these trade routes, right, develop into more, which would be great, which would be super great. I think that they can upgrade. I'm not really sure. Like here, we're importing 1 billion fabric from our trade routes. I don't know where they're coming from. Apparently from China, mostly. China and Italy. And that's cool. We're importing a bunch of lumber. Very cool. Because but isn't it saying that our Japanese market, it's minus 21? So it must be even worse in abroad. Like in... Wow. I mean, loving it. And that's trade revenue per employee, it says. So I'm not really sure how they calculate that. Holy God. Goldfields depleted. That's in Hokkaido. We cannot just leave them. What do you mean? Unfortunate. No, it's unfortunate. I'm not really worried. Look, the gold is this is Hokkaido. We never even developed the freaking gold mines. So, what the hell? What about you? One of these had gold mines that we couldn't develop. And you... Don't start with me. Don't start with me. You... Okay, for some reason, you sometimes get weird. Like you, I cannot physically buy you to be bigger. You just need to get more employment, and to get more employment, more people need to move here, and nobody's able to move here for reasons. Also, the port isn't built here, so I bet you that's been a big problem. Let's see what happens if I build a port here. A couple ports, actually. And this is Western Australia. So has it been selling to New South Wales? Like, I'm literally not sure. But yeah, all of these missions are being done. Public address goes awry. Enactment success. See, this is what I'm talking about. Or, usually you have to spend some money. I don't want to lower the appeal of the intelligentsia. I really don't. But like minus 15, like this is what I'm talking about. Like these voting things sometimes take forever. because you get good events like the Shogunate coming in, and you get bad events like that. So, anyways, I'm going to let these ports build out. We have a lot of ports to build, a lot of railways to build. We haven't even been building industry, okay? We have not been building industry. And look at the income chart. Look at it go way out to lunch. The radicals are staying the same. And that's massive if you consider the fact that we have 50% more radicals from standard of living decreases. They aren't decreasing. Though we do have many states in turmoil, specifically our colonies. I'm not sure why you're in turmoil, my dude. Is it because... What's your population? It's still Melanesian. Like, nobody's moving in from Japan. So, like, why are you upset? Most of your people are actually quite wealthy. Like, I don't understand why you have turmoil. Do you know why? Like, they have a 7 minimum required standard of living. Discrimination, I guess. I don't know. To me, I'm not quite sure what the whole turmoil thing is. Like, I'm literally spending more on you than I'm making. So why don't you love me? I've colonized you. Be a subject of mine and be colonized. Also, get some logging camps, I think. Okay. Anyways, we'll let you know here what happens. We'll try and get some more gold kind of coming online. This one here is gonna... Actually, I said I'd do this. Let's... 6 weeks, 5 weeks. We're just running max speed here. They are asking us for more... Oh, no, they canceled their import route of engines. That's fine. Market price changes, luxury furniture, small arms, engines. Things are staying pretty much the same. I'm okay with these. Coffee's going up. Lead going down. 1 week. Okay, let's go. This is at 20 per person. Is it going to go up or down? Like, are you still in... Do you still hate me now? Like, has this... What has this done? I don't get it. What do you want, man? What do you want? I don't want building in this place. I want overview. Like, I wish I had a better understanding of, well, anything, really. Like, why isn't this... Oh, because they haven't hired everyone yet, so the infrastructure is still coming online. Anyways, I need to figure out some of this gold mining stuff, because some of it you can't do, some of it you can do. One of these levels of gold mine we may as well do. And anyways, I'll let you know. Migration's, like, outlawed in my country anyway, so, like, I don't get it. Oh, one thing I do get, though, is that we can establish a colony. Let's go. France is trying to beat us, but we're actually going to be pretty fast at colonizing here. And we can do this because we have quinine. And if we had more bureaucracy, we could go into our policies and institutions and increase the amount of colonial growth by another 50%. So we went from 0.1 to 0.2, and then we could go to 0.3. That could be nice. We also would like to enhance our social systems, health systems. That gives more political strength to the Buddhists. I don't really love that, but it is a necessary step in the chain. Even if we do change it later to a public health system, we can build on this. But we need lots of bureaucracy for that. And now that our infrastructure issues are basically cleared up, there's still a little bit here, a little bit there, a little bit here. We can look to up the taxation rate with our government sector. And is there one of these notices? Isolated states we got to work on. Expensive government goods. Clippers did finally hit that point. Low market access. Insufficient taxation capacity. So these areas here, we know that we can build more government administration to get more taxation capacity. So this can actually go up by many levels. We're going to put many in the queue. And then I was going to up it to the top of the queue, but it must be on the next page. Yeah, okay. So 2 of them will go high in the queue. That will not only improve the taxation amounts, because right now we have a huge malus to taxation. Huge. Absolutely massive. Like, we are not getting, like, we need more. We need way more. And while we get more taxation for building up our industry, giving people better jobs, creating more of a paper industry, etc., we are not only doing that, we're getting more money from the taxation. So it pays for itself to improve everyone's lives. And while we're working on it, I would love to go for socialism. I really, really want to do this, but I know we're not ready for it yet. Instead, we need to come over here, and it's probably time to finish chemical bleaching to help us with our paper production. So I'll let you know how that goes. Okay. I may have done a boo-boo. I may have. Ching asked us. They said, you want to be part of the market? You want to be part of our market? And I said, you know what? That could be okay. Since then, our government revenue has gone down. And I think that's mostly because the market that we operate in was turned on its head. There now is a huge shortage of engines and transportation, and holy crap, opium is now all around and available. There's not enough of it though, which is fine by me, what have you. Coffee is wanted as well. We're the only ones producing coffee. So there's lots of things that have now changed and were shared in this market. There's opportunity for us to grow what we do. But at the same time, like, our industry's making silk or Man of Wars and all these other things now have to compete with the producers in China, right? With fabric and all these other items. That's fine, because we can turn around and turn that fabric into luxury clothes and stuff. But it's going to take a while for our economy to adapt to being in their market. And that's a little bit difficult when there's so many things that we're trying to do right now in the buildings that we can't leave until August. So we're about here. Ooh, smooth bores. Very cool. Love getting free technology. Military technology can be nice because it gives you more production methods in the old manufacturing of weapons. So we have muskets right now, but we could go up to a cannon focus or now smooth bores. Very, very cool. We're just focused on small arms because that's all our army uses, and we use it in small quantities. But like, look at all this market movement stuff. Like, it's pretty crazy. I don't think we want to be a part of their market though. Like, we're still making money in tariffs and other things, but we're just not making the same revenue that we used to. It's coming down. And then our temporary investments are coming down, and our national expenses are staying about the same. So I'm not sure why our income is coming so far down, but I think it's just that our people are more so struggling than they were before, now that we're mixed in with the rest of this stuff. Also, did I take over this area yet? Japanese, there we go. You also need a port very quickly so that we can get here and there. Unincorporated state, market access. How quickly are we colonizing this bad boy? 118 days for a small sliver of land, one at a time. But hey, we're doing what we can. Unfortunately, it looks like France is about to take over all of this crap. I can't see it. Oh no, they're taking over this crap. So they're starting wars with the natives to conquer them faster. That's a poo-poo situation, if you ask me. Pretty poo-poo. I got... my headphones just died, so I was just making sure I wasn't getting some call or some other thing. That is fine. That's how the world goes sometimes. But, like, this has been really good so far. We may decide... Like, I might decide to stay in this market because there's so much opportunity here for us to play in it in terms of, like, some of these productions. But I think it's a little too much. Like, I think that it's time... I might come back to this idea of joining somebody else's market, but right now I'm a little bit weirded out by it, to be honest. I didn't think it would be so negative. How do I get to leave? How do I get to leave? Join custom union. Where's create a custom union? So change our custom union. I thought there was a way to leave the custom union. Oh, join. I feel like a crazy person right now. Like, I had found this thing and it said October of 79. And now I don't know what to do because this brings goods into the market, but I don't really care about bringing goods into the market because I can't control all of this stuff. Like, I don't want this. I don't want that. And the country that owns the market, because it's only participant, senior partner in a customs union. How do I become, like, I don't want to be in your union. Oh, N. There we go. Progress from king each day increasing to relationships. Alright, now, what does that do to our economy? Oh, it made it worse. It made it worse. Oh my god. And then Japan wants a trade agreement. Oh, it's because... My god. It's probably because a lot of these trade agreements got all shuffled around like crazy. But now we have huge benefits from selling to the Qing dynasty. Like, we can sell them so much clothes and so many things. Like, all of our surplus, we can still trade it around the world instead of basing our prices based on what the price is in China. Like, we sell our own goods. We're not part of this crazy market anymore. We make our own goddamn market. And now anything that was overpriced in our land before, we are now going to heavily export tariff that shit and send it to China with a markup instead of eating it ourselves, basically. There's still lots to do because that did a lot of weird stuff to our economy that's now probably going to need to grow again. And all these exports are maybe a little too aggressive, to be honest. But that's fine for now because we're chilling. We're chilling. Life is good. And we're gonna make more money. I promise. We're gonna be better. We're gonna go back to our taxes. We're gonna put them back on. Unfortunately, that's probably gonna drop again here for reasons. And then consumption tax, services is just so good, and it mostly applies to consumers that I don't care about. So with that, we're back in the black. Our economy is going to get fixed. We're still building like crazy. We have some high government goods. I think it mentions somewhere in here. Clippers, fabric, and wood. All things that we got to work on. Let's look at our market now. Go to the details of it. And now what's messed up? It's the clippers. Why are the clippers messed up? Because we've been building an insane amount of ports. We also have shifted our economy to include mining in the dynamite in the mining process. So let's get these shipyards to the top of the queue. These ports are great. They're going to keep coming. And then we need more sulfur so that the chemical plants can make more bombs. And then the bombs make more sulfur. And you know how it is. So this is good. This state still has significant infrastructure deficits. That is ungood, unwise, and altogether uncouth. So we're going to build a railway in it as well. So there's so many things. Engines of progress. Oh my god. Holy crap. Railway connections, baby. This is in Chukuku? I don't actually know where Chukuku is. Here. You have plenty of infrastructure. More and more engines. Motor industries throughput. That's what we need. I don't care about getting railway cars. 3K though? 3K process? It takes 12. Weekly production. Like that is insane. Like that's like 6 months of technology. I'd rather get motor industry. No, we got to take the technology. It's pretty big. It's pretty big. And electric railways, that could be cool too. Anyways, this is where I'm going to call this episode, mostly because my headphones died, and I'm pretty sure I'm over the 1 hour mark. But basically, we have a lot of industrialization happening here. We now have the tools using ports and railways to improve this freaking market access. Let's look at the GDP. Oh my god, what a success. Look at the population. It's still climbing. Let's look at the state of living. We recovered from that big dip. The 44% literacy. The radicals are coming, and the loyalists are going away. But at least the parties don't hate us as much anymore. And at least the industrialists still love us. So life is good under the sun. We're trying to pass a law. It has a 0% chance of succeeding. Yeah, that's all I got for you. Faith and reason. It sounds like we're in we're looking for better here. What do you got? Bad. Conflict in government minus 25% authority. Bad. No, we're gonna make the intelligentsia not like us because the Buddhists are, I'm hoping, gonna come back from unhappy here soon. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed. I sure did. I'll see you next time. Okay, I may have said I was gonna do one more, but I lied. Gonna end it because there's an election going on right now, and I'm really curious to see how it goes. So we'll stop in for that. All right, we're about to get the results of the election, and also I'm just gonna say the money chart is really good now. So I think that leaving that market was the right thing to do. Now our market has kind of stabilized internally. We still want more glass and lumber and some other items. We can create more trade routes. Right now, we have a lot of unproductive trade routes, as it were. But I'm pretty sure, are those not from other states? Like, I don't really care. Most of our productive trade lines are us exporting, right? So we are chilling. We could export some steel. Level 7 trade route, 175. I mean, it's gonna make more money for... It's not steel, though. It's iron. We want to make more steel domestically, not sell our iron. So there's some things that I'm not looking to trade more than others. So anyway, let's see what happens here. Discord. Beneficial factionalism. Wealth voting being enacted plus 15%. Oh. Oh. Extend the hand. So minus a ton. I should have done this. Like, I mean, I just came up, but this would have been perfect before the election. Let's do the most we can to support the parties we like. Imperial rule. So I'm pretty sure that means once again that reforming the government is chilling. I don't even know how to reform it in a way that makes more sense. Imperial rule got 70% of the vote, it just said. And yet, like, you're bad, you're okay. You throw you in, and you throw in the Reform Party, and, like, it's just the same. So, I wish there was a change in our government, to be honest, but we do be chilling. We need more wooden clippers. That's been obvious. We have a lot of states in turmoil. It used to be 4. It's back up to 8. That happened when we combined our markets. Even like our main like areas have been having a hard time with that. I thought that's why our income was so bad, but then our income's become good again. So who knows? A trade agreement is different than joining their market. So a trade agreement is something that I'm super keen on. And then, you know, you look here and you're like, French market, that's good. We could bring in some clothes and stuff. It would hurt our domestic production. But honestly, the sulfur could be pretty massive, to be saying something. Could be pretty massive. American market as well. Because we need more explosives right now for our mining economy. And that should help make that happen. Because I can't do it all on my own. Because I have a huge building backlog right now of things that need to happen. We're going to get some sulfur and some chemicals to the top of the list. But like even with 80 production capacity here, it's not enough. Like we are building like crazy. And our economy has been so back and forth that I'm not ready to commit to some permanent build capacity. So we're chilling. And we're also trying to grow this little inlet into Africa here. So lots going on. How is you going? That you guys eventually did get your buildings here. I know that you did. And now, yeah, the iron is a little bit less productive, unfortunately. But the dyes, the dyes and especially the coffee, or the tea, very, very good. I think that it says it won't be good, but it actually will be. Let's double check here. Infrastructure might be a problem. That's fine. And a lot of these places as well, just out and about. Let's get off of this menu here and go to the build menu so it stops messing with me. Ooh, that's really good. And you can see how I said one more turn, and then very quickly I was like, nah, brah, we're doing many. So we can get plantations out here as well for the coffee and other goods, which now that our people are a little bit better off domestically, there's absolutely more of a drive to actually do that because we actually are looking to buy coffee. Lead mine, look, logging is good. Coffee is good. You guys can work on those. And I actually didn't mean to put those on the top of the list. So let's do a quick restructuring here to that and finish off some of these items, and then we'll work on some of those plantations. But yeah, anyways, I actually am going to kill it here. The valve production thing is probably the biggest thing I need to look into next. Construction sector throughput going up seems amazing. But I think we just need to help finish some of these low tier technologies. And very quickly, I'd like to go from nitroglycerin to dynamite, because the dynamite is better than nitroglycerin. And you probably don't know this because I haven't told you, but all of my mines using nitroglycerin has huge mortality implications on our workers. So yeah, we should try not to have our workers explode. The problem is that I need lots of explosives to make that change, and right now explosives are already a throughput problem. I have so many things that I'm trying to do. Make profitable colonial interests better, trying to do a lot of things there, trying to make the coal, the iron, the wood cheaper, all those goods. What is happening here? Oh, I think this is our army. Yeah, just big army chilling here. Didn't know I was on the war screen. I'm not in a war. At least I don't think I am. At least I don't think I am. Am I at war here? Am I at war? I don't think I'm at war. I don't know. I haven't been at war yet. There was one time I was almost at war and then I ran away. So brave Japan, let's go. Let's just, honestly, the next big thing for us is this restoration. I think that this is going to change our leader, and I think that's going to change the politics a lot for us. We're going to open up the country even wider than these, market deals that are happening. Notice the coffee, it's a big one, and this is domestic value, so it's good. And honestly, can we look at the quality of life? It went down for a second when we joined the Qing market, but I bet you it's about to come up. The loyalists are coming up. That's not something you see every day. And the economy, it's stilting, but anyways, I hope you enjoyed. I've been loving this crap, and I'll see you next time.